Hey, good morning. I'm going to do something real quick here. A couple points that I'd like to point out uh, I just got off the phone and some messages and stuff about different, I guess there's an argument or a conversation taking place on the page. Thing is what happens on that page and the conversations that are taking place is that is exercising our right to speak, our right to be concerned, our right to voice our opinions. Um, Opinions are not always facts. The questions that are asked are what can lead to facts. The this constant asking for present the facts, right? To be able to show or demonstrate or come to a consensus that everything that has been done thus far is legit. One of the main things that people are failing to realize or failing to bring into question is, why is it the information that we're asking for not being provided? Why is it the answer that we're being given that, oh, well, this is just how it is. That's it. You guys voted for it and suck it up. Um, it, holy, there's so much deflection and irresponsibility. And I don't understand why the old timers feel like they gotta get in there and start flinging mud. All we have is concerned citizens asking, why the 3 mil? Why? Why did you guys, the board, the town manager, why did you guys spend $1.5 million that you didn't have? Why did you borrow that money? Why did you spend it knowing that it wasn't there? You knew it wasn't there. You knew the amount that was coming in, but it was like you guys had a credit card with no limit. And our wallets are that credit card. That's the mentality you guys have. And the ones that have the audacity to get there and defend these idiots, you guys are just as guilty as they are, because if you're going to get there and ask and make fun of people, and constantly belittle them and tell them, oh, you weren't at the town meeting, you didn't vote. Show up and raise your hand and be accounted for. Look, I'm sorry. I went to a lot of these town meetings, and it's always the same ones with a special interest, the ones that ask for grants, the ones that are always having their hands out, asking for handouts and exceptions and tax abatements. It's the same ones. The ones that got us in this mess are the same. I don't know if they're on speed dial or what the deal is, but it's always the same people that show up to vote. They borrow money, like that $6.105 million that was borrowed. It was at a school meeting, it was at a town meeting at the high school library. And for whatever reason, that recording is not available for who knows why. But here's the thing. With that article in that town meeting, there was supposed to be a tax, I forgot the name. Not a tax, a treasurer. There's a letter that's supposed to go with that, and it shows how it's going to affect the town, how we're going to be able to pay it back, so on and so forth. That wasn't in there. And any question that we asked, we were stonewalled. We just need to vote for it. There was like 38 people that voted for that, with a repayment of 28 years at 2%. But me voting against that and showing up there, and I saw the freaking crowd that was there. It wasn't a crowd, believe me. I could have probably counted on my fingers and my toes, but it's all the people that are constantly sucking off the bottle of the town and sucking us all dry. Those are the ones that are yelling the loudest, and I'm sorry that I'm yelling, because right now I am so sick and tired of these old timers piping up and trying to shove us down. Your time to shine is over. The reason why we're in this mess right now is because of you guys' thinking. Screwing us all. So shut up, sit down, and watch. Because this pig pen that you guys have created is what's screwing us all. Mahmoud bien. You guys want change, show up and vote. It's a joke. Go inform yourself. You don't get jack at a freaking town meeting. You have somebody there who's chewing gum, twirling a freaking pen, and doesn't know what the hell is going on. Well, you see, it's complicated. It might be complicated for him. Sure as hell ain't complicated for me. Because I'm seeing what they say, and I'm seeing what the results are, and guess what? They don't add up whatsoever. So call me unhinged and crazy and whatever, but I'll tell you what. The ones who are screaming the loudest right now and are opposed to change and opposed to questions and opposed and they're, hey, cyberbullying. Oh my God, let's cry a freaking bucket of tears. It's because you guys are scared crapless. You got caught with your pants down is what it is. That's why. Let me ask you a question, you omnipotent, so enlightened older people. Why is it that the last town selectman who resigned was able to get a tax abatement and other abatements and apply for grant money while he was on the frickin' board? Why? He could do it, so why can't the paper mill do it? I've come to understand why that little negotiation took place with the paper mill. And all you board members that came up with an excuse, you guys are full of crap. Straight up. Freaking liars, hypocrites. That paper mill filed for bankruptcy and was going to close its doors. Period. And when Governor LePage saw what was happening to the paper mills in this town, and I'm not defending him, I'm letting the people know what happened. That paper mill filed for bankruptcy. It was going to close its doors. It was going to cripple this town. Look at how many paper mills shut their doors and people went out of business. Look how many communities were destroyed, disappeared because the paper mills closed, right? Well, rather than allow that to happen here in our town, that governor appointed somebody who was a professional and licensed to evaluate paper industry facilities. And he came up with 3 numbers: a high, a low, a medium, and a low. Were the objective. That was the objective. I actually have a paper here. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't even have it. So for you people there that are listening to these flipping nanos that think they have the answers and, oh, we did this, we did that, they're full of it. They didn't do jack. They fell asleep at the wheel, Mahmoud bien. Now I'm paraphrasing, okay, because this is scribbled quick. Because I happened to run into somebody who was able to fill me in on this. The paper mill was valued at $145 million. And then they agreed to drop in how much they were paying for taxes. This was to help keep this community alive because it's the biggest taxpayer, okay? The first year, so they were valued at $145 million. Although the building itself, that everything that's there is only worth $40 million. Only. That was according to the assessment then. That's when they still had all the equipment and so on and so forth, okay? But if they were to sell that today, the value of that mill is $40 million. But they're paying taxes on $145 million. Okay? Now, first year they were going to drop down to $100 million. The second year they were going to drop down to $95 million. And the third year, they were going to drop down to 85 million. Those were the goals set by this. Oh, hold on. That was the order it was going to go. That was the agreement that was made with the mill. Do you know what the goals, that the high was that this individual, the assessor, had appraised the mill at, so that they would be able to maintain operation and stay here? The high number that he was aiming for was $85 million. And guess what? The mill agreed to it. So for all those years afterwards, because there was that agreement, the paper mill was paying taxes based off of $85 million. And then we have these incompetent, inept, arrogant, ignorant, narcissistic board members who are going to sit there and all of a sudden change the agreement. Because they got grand plans, though. They're aggressive. Oh yeah, we're going to grab this mill by the cojones and we're going to squeeze and get as much milk as we can. What they don't realize is it wasn't a cow that they were grabbing. It was a bull. And they got the horns, is what happened. And because they're so greedy, narrow-minded, can't see past their flippin' nose, guess what they did? Assumed, speculated that they would be able to turn that agreement on its head and stick it to the mill for $185 million. That is the facts. So my question is, why in the world are we negative $1.5 million and you're going to tell me I don't have facts? Guess what? The facts is we're negative 1.5. Why the hell did the mill rate go up 3? It's a complicated formula. Listen. Where the hell did you guys go to school? Do you know how to add 1 plus 1 and subtract? We may have some illiterate people in this community. But I'll tell you what, they know how to add and subtract. Do it with potatoes, do it with leaves, do it with trees. It don't matter. They're not stupid. So trying to play a flippin' victim, you guys are so disgusting. Disgusting! When you have a board member, when you have a business that the only reason why you're in business is because the paper mill uses you. If it wasn't for that paper mill, you wouldn't have a freaking business. Period. While the rest of the world has moved on and can do all kinds of things online, you have a little business. And then you're going to ask me for proof? I'll tell you what. Do you know what year it is? 2019. Do you know how I book my flights and my trips? Online. Who's behind the times? And you're going to come at me like I'm some sort of idiot? Like, no. 2. This board, this town, this mentality hates veterans. Hates them. I'm using the word hate because you guys have demonstrated that you hate veterans. You want proof? Every vet in this town that is on a set income. You guys screwed us by increasing our taxes, and we don't get a raise. You hate veterans. Period. I don't give a crap what you try to say and how to sugarcoat it. Everyone that is on a fixed income, this board is anti-you. Anti-you. They don't give a crap about you. But I guarantee you, If an immigrant comes to this town that's not an American citizen, they'll open up the wallet and dish out your tax dollars in a heartbeat. You guys are so freaking sick. You know what? You know what's really hits me in the heart? I see broken men and women in our community. Broken! That have to live with the shit that we saw overseas. And to say, we committed our lives to that. And we have you bunch of dipsticks taking advantage of us and the ones that we swore to protect, which includes you freaking idiots. I may not be politically correct, but I'll tell you what. I know an idiot when I see one. And you guys might have the media wrapped around your flipping little finger and somebody writing little fancy this and that. You guys are useless. You're like a set of tits on a bull. Part of this little clique there, this management thing, is hitting all of our towns. Not just Madawaska, Presque Isle, Caribou, Limestone, Fort Fairfield, all our towns in our community, in our county, are getting screwed. Caribou's getting ready to have a tax mill increase as well. What is the common denominator? Figure it out. Because if I point it out, I'm going to be called a conspiracy nut. But let me explain something to you right here, right now. I happen to be privileged to have been included on something. And because of the narrow-mindedness of select individuals, we had a multi-million, possibly billion-dollar industry voted out. Killed. Dead. But I sat down with somebody yesterday, and you know what? There might be a way to circumvent these brain dead individuals. See, when I'm told that I can't do something, I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And you guys might be all scared right now that, oh, if we fired a town manager, we're on the hook. You know what? Who gives a crap? If we had to pay him $500,000 to get him out of that office, do it. At least we're going to cut his hands, take his hands off the freaking steering wheel before, you know what? Next year, budget meeting, if we don't get this idiot out of there, our taxes go up again. Again. And guess who's going to be there telling you, oh, it's our fault? The same idiots are sitting at the board right now. -1. -1. It's this one's fault, that one's fault. Nah. Yeah. You know what? We have these people that work in public office that have never worked an actual day in their life. Career administrator. Hasn't done crap. Has lived off of your tax dollars from the day of the first job to present right now, and it keeps asking for a bigger raise for doing absolutely jack crap. Yep. That's what it is. And to this group, I have been asked about this and I've been quiet about it because I'm in right now focused on one thing, which is our community, our town. But to this individual in Senegat who people don't understand or favor, not whatever. Get this message to him and listen very closely to what I'm saying. One thing, well, there's a couple things, but the first thing, you're an American citizen. You're not an immigrant from a war-torn country. You are an American citizen. And if anybody that comes here from anywhere else in the United States and you're an American citizen, you have a right to be here. Nobody calls dibs on any community. We are all Americans, period. I fought for that. I swore an oath to it. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, as long as you are not inciting violence or causing anything that would be considered illegal. More power to you. 2, this guy needs to file a complaint, something. Listen carefully to what I'm going to say. There is a Facebook profile by Gil the Frenchman. If you find out and are able to trace, because everything is traceable today, find out where that IP address comes from, who registered it, and you'll find your culprit to all of this crap going on in this valley. All the valley and the county plays both sides. To the point that they will even have a conversation with themselves, with Gil the Frenchman and themselves. You want to play? You want to find out who you're up against, the mentality you're up against? I don't even know your name. Find that out and you'll get your answer. Because the same people that are up against him are the same, that's the same mentality that's here. Because that same group that individual represents is the same group that is intentionally killing the county. Because special interest groups, they want federal funding to be able to re-educate, reintegrate, house, feed, clothe, as much free money as they can get with immigrants, not American citizens. That is the truth. And if you want names, message me and I'll give them to you. One last thing before I go. Every town in this county, every one of you, if you are really concerned as a citizen and you're wondering why things are not changing when it comes to elections or polling or the booths, go look. I experienced this firsthand. We have people, individuals, that are registered. See, because at the polls, it's supposed to be bipartisan. You're supposed to have X amount of Republicans, X amount of Democrats, X amount. It's supposed to be even. Okay? Do you want to see how dishonest and corrupt these communities are? We have individuals who are registered as a Republican, but have nothing good to say about the Republican Party. We have some that are registered as Democrats, but everything they stand for and live for are Republican. Special interest groups. And I was informed yesterday by a very credible individual that the what are those called? Absentee ballots. That there's been several absentee ballots that have been cast, but the individual was deceased. One of them by 2 years, the other one by a year. You guys want to understand? Now you guys might get an understanding as to how corrupt this is. We are the largest county east of the Mississippi. Largest. The second, one of the 2 richest resource counties in the state. But we're always broke. Could barely make ends meet. You guys get the picture yet? It's the same idiots. It's a clique. It's an old mindset. Socialists. They want to milk you guys dry so they can make room for the ones they can make money off of their backs. Yep. And you won't call me nuts. I didn't realize it was this bad. But now I'm seeing all these little towns all over the place, and there's a common denominator. Our public officials don't give 2 flying craps about us up here whatsoever. We have no representation, and as soon as somebody speaks out or gets out of line, they call you a cyber bully. Or you don't have the facts. That town meeting that they gave us those colorful papers at, guess what? Those weren't even the facts either. There were holes all over it. But they presented us the facts. Take your facts and shove it. Because the fact is, if you guys are scared and apprehensive, I am not going to do something that is going to hurt the community. I live here too. I have children here. I have loved ones here. I have friends that I cherish here. But there is going to be a wave. And the wave is going to be bye-bye.